All right. So as we discussed in the last class, whenever there is a request from, for example, HTTP client to a server requesting for a web page, initially a connection has to be established between the client and the server. In our case, as we have seen in the last class, on the server side, the port that used is port number 80, and on the client side, one of the random ports like 1024, 1025, 1020, any of these ports. After establishing TCP connection between the client and the server, then the data will be transferred from the server to the client. In our case, it was requesting for a web page, and the web page will be transferred from the server to the client. So initially, there is TCP connection establishment. So this is how it happens. Let's say we have two machines. This is the client, and in our case 192.168.1.1, and the server is 192.168.1.254. So server HTTP. So first, there will be a request for a connection. Client will send a request to the server, and the server will acknowledge that, and also will send something else. I'll tell you. And again, there is an acknowledgement. Basically, there will be a three-way handshake. Three-way handshake. This has been discussed in the lecture also, right? Iger? Oh. All right. So you have a fairly good idea about it already. So initially, there will be a SYN. A SYN will be sent from the client to the server. And normally, this will be a 32-bit random number. 32-bit random number. For the convenience of the simulation, let's say this is 0. A SYN 0. Now, when the server receives this SYN, from the client, the server will respond with an ACK. The ACK will be something like, I received the SYN number, and acknowledging whatever the SYN number is received, and the next number what is been expecting. So in this case, SYN 0 has been sent, so it's going to be ACK 1. SYN 0, ACK 1. Along with that, it will also send its own SYN number, SYN. So there is initially this is SYN, and replace is SYN ACK. SYN from the client to the server, then from the server to the client what? SYN ACK. And client will respond with the ACK. So this is the three-way handshake. Before the data transfer takes place between the server and the client. And by this process, the connection will be established. This is establishment of the connection. After the connection is been established, then the data transfer takes place from the server to the client, then there will be acknowledgement, then the next data, and so on. Suppose there is 10 bytes of data has been transferred from the server to the client, 10 bytes. Acknowledgement will be 11 because it already received 10, next is expected is 10, 11. Then next 10 bytes, another 10 bytes. So next is going to be 11 into 20, so next acknowledgement is going to be 21, and so on. So this happens. After completing the data transfer, then there will be a finish, a fin. And that fin will be acknowledged by the server, fin ACK. And it will send its own fin also. And that will be acknowledged. So connection termination is two-way communication. Yes. It's a fin. Fin means finished. Fin means finished. So the server basically what it says, I'm finished, I want to close the connection. Okay, then this is sent by this this example sent by the client, and that has been acknowledged. Then server will send its own finish, and that will be acknowledged. So this is the first two-way communication between the client and the server, and the second two-way communication from the server to the client. So this is what happens in TCP establishment and receive connection termination. Is it clear to you? Igor, Dahi, Ali, Khalil. All right. Now let's look at the simulation again. For the purpose of simulation, I have simplified the network. In the network that we tried in the last class, we have there is in between there is a switch. So first of all, data go from the client to the switch, then switch transfers to the data, and so on. So when you look at the simulation point, you might get a bit. In order to avoid the confusion, I have made even a simple connection for the purpose of analysis. In this case, what I did is I've connected the server directly. Client is directly connected to the server using a crossover cable. I've eliminated the requirement of a switch because there is only one connection I wanted to demonstrate. In this case, I've used the same IP address 192.168.1.254 for the server and 1.1 for the client. This does not have. All right. Now I will switch from the real mode to it was in the real time. Now I'm switching to the simulation mode. As before, I'm going to select only the HTTP and TCP, HTTP and TCP, and close it here. Click on the yes, yes. Someone has any? No.
Doctor, I can't see the edit filters.
here initially when you are real time, there is nothing, isn't it? There's nothing. When you switch the simulation mode, are you getting this window?
Yes, I'm getting it, but up to this play controls only. Up to play controls.
Here, up to here.
Yes, yes.
You don't see this particular one?
Yes, I can't see that one.
Edit filters, probably you need to go to options and play around here. I'm not sure when we can figure it out later. Is that okay?
It's fine, it's fine.
All right. So there are lots of options here. I myself did not face this problem, but I will try to help you out. All right. Now, I'm in the simulation mode. I reset the full thing. Going to command prompt, not command prompt, from the web browser. IP address is 192.168.1.254. I hope you can hear my sound. Is it audible or it's too feeble?
It's cool. It's fine.
Okay. So you don't close it, minimize it here. Check the edit filters. It's on TCP and HTTP. That's fine. Now we need to move ahead by clicking on capture forward. So here it shows a PDU going from the PC to the server. Now server will respond. So initially from the PC to the server, it's going to be SYN. And whenever this communication happens, there are some flags set. Or in the TCP header, you can see there are 6 flags. If you look at the TCP header, on the left-hand side of the window, this is window. On the left-hand side, you can see flags. 6 flags are there. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay. These flags are starting from right. One is the FIN, SYN, then there is reset. Basically, we'll be looking at FIN, SYN, and ACK. So FIN is the first one on the right hand side, and the next is the SYN one, and the 5th one is the ACK. We are going to look at these flags. Whenever there is a SYN, SYN is going to be set. Whenever there is a FIN packet, FIN is going to be set. Whenever there is a ACK, ACK is going to be set. Okay, so just remember this. This is FIN. Then there is a SYN. This is ACK. So we are going to look at these things: ACK, SYN, and FIN. ACK is number 1, SYN is number 2, and this is 5th bit. Okay. Now in our example, first of all, there is a from PC to the server, that is a SYN. Then server to the PC, that's going to be SYN ACK. Then you will see again PC to the server, it is a ACK. So SYN, ACK, and ACK. After this, HTTP data transfer will take place. Then connection will be terminated. In this case, PC is initiating a connection termination. Then server will respond, and also the server will send its own FIN, and finally it has been terminated. Finished. It will not go further. Initially, connection establishment, then data transfer, then the connection termination. All right. Now we are going to look at the details. Let's look at the first one. From PC to the server. Here it is a packet creation at the device. Then PC transfer it from PC to the server. So let's open it. Look at the inbound. Inbound means what is gone from the PC to the server. Inbound. You see here, which bit is set here? Not the first one, the second one from the right. What is that bit? Shabab. What is the second bit? What is the second bit? You look at the flags. Look at the flags here. Yeah, the bit. When I say second means starting from the right. Bit number 1, bit number 2 is 1, isn't it?
1.
Right? Yes or no?
It's 1.
Yeah. What is 1? Look at this. If you look at the flags, here, see here. Okay, now it's better. Let me write it here. The flag bit is 0, 0. Why is it like this? Zero, 0, 0, 4 zeros, right? 0, 1, 0. So this is the FIN. FIN is not set. SYN is set here. And ACK is not set. So this indicates this is a SYN. You got it? Yes or no?
Again, doctor.
See, when you look at the flags here, which is part of the TCP, what is the flags show? You look at after B, 0 B, then 0 0 0 0 1 0. And as I explained, the first bit is this is FIN. Is it set? It is 0. Right?
Yes, it is 0.
In this example it is 0. And the second bit is SYN, which is set here. Second bit is set. This indicates that this is a synchronization packet. SYN stands for synchronization.
Doctor, can FIN be 0?
Because initially it is a connection establishment. Connection establishment happens like this. Let's say there is A and B. A will send a SYN. B will respond with a SYN and ACK. So A will send a SYN, okay, and B will send back with a SYN and ACK. ACK is going to be the SYN sent by A plus 1. If it is 0, if SYN is sent 0, B will send a okay, I acknowledge it, next number is expected is 1. Alright, so server will respond with the ACK and it will send its own SYN. Then A will respond with an ACK. ACK for what? ACK for this SYN. ACK for this SYN, and initially B will send an ACK for this SYN. If A has sent 0, ACK will be 0 plus 1. Again, in this case, if the SYN is 0 here, from B to A, then A will send an ACK. So connection is always two-way. There is a connection from A to B and also the connection from B to A. Everything that's sent by A is going to be acknowledged by B. Everything that is sent by B is going to be acknowledged by A. This is how the TCP connection works. Is it clear, Igor?
Yes, doctor.
All right. So initially it is sending sequence number 0. It is not always 0. It is generally it is a 32-bit random number. Why they are using a random number is that is to protect from any TCP connection hijacking. If everyone knows initial connection is going to be 0, it's very easy to hijack the TCP connection, and that's a security risk. So generally they use a random number, a 32-bit random number. For the purpose of simulation, it started with a 0 here. So this is going from PC to the server, SYN 0, and SYN bit is set. Now, to this SYN, to this connection establishment request, server will respond. So you can look at the outbound, which is going from server to the PC or server to the client. If you look at here and look at the TCP, what you're going to see is acknowledgement number 1. It is an ACK. You can see here SYN and ACK. This is second bit is set, that means a SYN, and also the ACK bit is set, that means it's a SYN ACK. Why it is number 1? Because initially client send a SYN 0, and next what is to be sent, what is been expected by the server, it is 1. That is why it is ACK 1. Suppose, just for the purpose of understanding, A is sending to B. After connection establishment, A is sending to B 10 bytes. 10 bytes. Now B will send an acknowledgement to A saying next time I'm expecting 11. So ACK will be how much? 11. Then A will send back from 11 to 20, next 10 bytes. So for whatever is being sent, B has to acknowledge it. Whatever is sent by B, A has to acknowledge it. In our case, initially it was SYN 0. So server will say, okay, I received a SYN 0 by sending an ACK with a 1. That's what ACK with the 1 here. Make sense? And also you can see in the flags, you can see a SYN B set and also ACK is set, indicating this is a SYN ACK. So this is a second step in the establishment of the connection. So there is a SYN, there was a SYN, then there was a SYN ACK. Now what the client has to do, it has to acknowledge it. What has to acknowledge? The SYN here. What was the SYN number? 0. So it has to send ACK 1.
1.
Yeah. So now if you look at the next one, which is sent from PC to the server. From PC to the server, you can, why it is inbound? Because it is received from the PC to the server. So inbound to the PC, inbound to the server. If you look at the details here, you can see it is a ACK 1. So this is ACK. So SYN, ACK and ACK. And you can see here it is ACK is set here. See, the ACK is set here. You are looking at the flag. You can see the flags, right? Can you see the flags? Shabab.
Doctor.
All right.
Can see
So, all right. So in this case, now the connection has been established. So SYN, SYNAC and ACK. Is it easy to remember?
No. Yes.
This is connection established. What is established? Connection. Connection established. Now what is next after that? After that, the data has to transfer between the client and server, whatever as per the requirement. Now, if you go back to the simulation panel here, so this indicates what? TCP connection establishment. Connection is established between the client and the PC. Now the data will be transferred by the server to the PC. After that, there has to be a connection termination. Connection has to be terminated. In this case, who is initiating the termination? You can see here PC to the server. Let's look at this. PC to the server. Let's look at the inbound. From what is being sent by the PC to the server. So let's look at the inbound of the server. Look at this. A FIN has been saved. Meaning, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. What is the sequence number is being used here? 103. Now, server will respond with acknowledgement of this 103 by sending a 104. Look at the output. You can see here in the TCP, if you look at this, you can see acknowledgement 104, and also it will send its own SYN. It's on FIN. Look at this. It's on FIN. So the first bit is a FIN. To this, so PC send a FIN, server send a acknowledgement, and it's on, and finally you can see here from PC to the server, PC to the server, you can see it is a ACK. Okay, so this is a two-way communication. What happened was client server, client sent to server a FIN. Then server sent back acknowledgement of acknowledgement, and also it sent its own FIN. It will be sent acknowledgement. Meaning, you have to remember there is a communication from client to the server. That is we finished, acknowledge. Then there is a connection from the server to the client, finished and acknowledge. So here it is FIN and ACK. So this has been terminated. First, terminated from the client to the server is being terminated. Then client to the server also is terminated. So this is being terminated and this also has been terminated. This is what? Two-way communication. Two-way communication. Anyway, you understand. Is it clear to you? So this is what happens in a TCP whenever there is a web page request or the FTP request and so on. For every communication, there has to be connection establishment, then data transfer, and the connection termination. Now, what you have to submit in your report is, after completing all the steps here, as detailed here, at the end, you have to include TCP connection establishment and termination for the STTP and also for FTP. connection establishment and termination for the, I'm referring to this particular here. You have to look at the communication, see what happens, how the connection is established and terminated between the HTTP client and the server, and how the connection has been established and terminated between the FTP client and the server. You have to get the screenshot, giving the details of TCP, SYN-ACK, and ACK, then FIN-ACK and FIN-ACK. So by this, we are finishing all that need to be discussed as part of this course.